Musicals were once ubiquitous. Unlike today, they were a regular staple at movie theaters until sometime in the 1970s. Hey friends, Barkey Dog here, back with another movie review. Although MGM was the preeminent studio for the genre, every studio tried their hand at the musical. The one I have for you this time came from 20th Century Fox. We're talking about 1943's Stormy Weather, starring Lena Horne and Bill Robinson. Now, in many ways, this is a typical musical, where we see show people meet, fall in love, and work their way up to the top. But this one is different in that, while it's typical, it wasn't made for the typical audience. No, this movie was made primarily for black audiences. See, because of segregation, black audiences had separate theaters, and these theaters showed regular movies, but also their own movies. Many of these were low-budget affairs, and many were forgettable, but they were made by black creators who had an all-black cast. And sometimes a Hollywood studio would undertake a movie for that audience, since they could be profitable. Many of these were musicals, and the movies could take advantage of the professional studio departments for lighting, set and costume design, props, and so forth. There was Hallelujah, a King Vidor film from 1929, or The Green Pastures from 1936, starring Eddie Anderson, who played Rochester on The Jack Benny Show. There was Cabin in the Sky from 1943, also with Lena Horne and Eddie Anderson, or even Carmen Jones from 1954. And Stormy Weather is one of those films, and while a typical musical, it's still a pretty good one. Told mostly in flashback, our story goes like this. Bill Robinson and his friend Gabe have just returned from France after serving in the First World War. Bill meets Lena Horne, and they're obviously destined to wind up together. Lena's current boyfriend, Chick, a musical star, isn't happy about that. But as time passes, the pair become an item and work their way up. Bill as a dancer and Lena as a singer, until Bill wants to settle down and Lena doesn't, so they split for a while. Naturally, they get back together just in time for Lena to sing Stormy Weather, which is all about a downhearted frail longing for her man who's gone away, even though it was Lena who went away. Anyway, everybody's happy, except for Jack, who lost his girl earlier in the picture. Gabe was played by none other than Dooley Wilson, who you may know better as Sam, the piano player from Casablanca. Here he has more range and displays a flair for light comedy. Jazz legends Benny Carter and Coleman Hawkins also appear in the band, and in the role of Chick is singer and songwriter Emmett Babe Wallace, though he's weirdly uncredited in the picture given that he has a recurring supporting role. And if you look fast, you may spot Matthew Stymie Beard, a regular in the Little Rascals shorts, as a stagehand. Bill Robinson and Lena Horne are great together. Even though there was almost 40 years difference in age between the two, it's hard to tell thanks to the black and white photography. Lena Horne, of course, sings Stormy Weather in what became her signature song. As is usually the case in musicals like this, the number starts out on a regular stage and then transitions into a stylized fantasy world of endless space, and back again. Robinson is the dancer with happy, educated feet who starts dancing at the first sign of any rhythm. Among other things, we see him do a number here where he does something known as sand dancing, literally dancing soft shoe style on a thin layer of sand. The effect is kind of like brushes on the drums. This dance form fell by the wayside, unfortunately, as it tended to tear up dance floors, shoes, and surfaces. But we get to see an example of it here in Stormy Weather. Fats Waller appears as both a singer and in a supporting role. Cab Calloway offers up several numbers in his usual energetic style, and the Nicholas brothers are also here. They were not only great dancers, they mixed in a bit of parkour with their dancing, and the results are just phenomenal. Stormy Weather has one of their best numbers. Robinson is personable and good-natured throughout, and his character has a sense of humor no matter what life throws at him. Wilson is fun as the smooth-talking friend, and Lena is wonderful. Stormy Weather was the last movie for both Fats Waller and Bill Robinson. Sadly, both would die not long after the release of Stormy Weather. Waller in December of 1943, and Robinson later in 1949. I'm giving Stormy Weather 3 paws up. It may not be the greatest musical ever made, but it has some humor, standout musical performances, and some fine dance routines. Stormy Weather also offers an interesting snapshot, a look into the type of entertainment being produced at the time for black audiences by the major studios. This is well worth a watch, especially to see Robinson's dancing, the Nicholas brothers, and for Lena singing her signature song, Stormy Weather. You can see my review of Tap here, and down there you can see more reviews of movies from the 1940s. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.